Dear friends, in this video lecture, let us discuss on the secondary education Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan RMSA in the Contemporary Indian Education Series number 7. Secondary education is very important as it prepares the students for higher education and also for the world of work. Classes of 9th and 10th constitute the secondary stage, whereas classes 11 and 12 constitute the higher stage, higher secondary stage. Both stages of education help Indian students to complete successfully education and make them ready for jobs. Therefore, it is very important to strengthen this stage by providing greater access and also by improving equality in a special way. The Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan is a scheme to strengthen the equality and quality of secondary education. The scheme was adopted on 2nd March 2009 for the greater access and quality of secondary and higher education sector in Indian education. RMSA, through the initiative of Government of India, tries to achieve some basic aims and objectives for the universalization of secondary education. That is, giving education to all the secondary education students, especially 9th and 10th. The vision for secondary education is to make quality education available to all children for all young persons in the age group of 14 to 18 years. RMSA also provides access to secondary education for the girls, SC, ST and other minorities. Through RMSA, it is proposed to have ICT at schools, girls hostel, inclusive education for disabled at secondary stage and vocational education. What are the objectives of Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan RMSA? To improve quality education at secondary level, to ensure that all secondary schools have physical facilities and staff ratio 1:30 and other facilities such as infrastructure, equipment and so on. And also to ensure universal access of secondary education by 2017 with 100% enrollment. To some extent or even to a greater extent this was achieved, we can very well say. To provide a secondary school within a good distance, it should be 5 km for secondary schools and 7 to 10 km for higher secondary schools. And also to upgrade middle schools into high schools. Another aim is to strengthen secondary schools with necessary infrastructure, laboratory rooms, library room, stock of books and playground facilities. To ensure that all students can receive secondary education, they should not feel gender, socio-economic and disability problems. There should be equality in their education. What are the key areas of Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan RMSA? The curriculum in RMSA should be focused on vocationalization and allow children to choose subjects of their interest. RMSA curriculum should include employment-oriented courses. RMSA should encourage students to opt for open learning courses of their interest. RMSA would offer free education for girl children and free hostel facilities. And also RMSA should offer integrated education for the disabled children. That means disabled children are also welcome to study along with the normal children. RMSA should spread awareness on the need for secondary education for students through multimedia, contact centers for the benefit of helpless poor children. RMSA, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, should improve the content quality of subjects such as science, environmental education, mathematics, computers, etc. It should also revise the curriculum every few years and see its relevance at present. Also, RMSA should train teachers for the proper attitude to approach children. RMSA should conduct a periodical test to make sure that they are fit for the job. RMSA should offer free education, transport and other facilities for the disabled students. RMSA should familiarize students with the information technology and offer financial support for the computer education of the interested students. What is the impact of RMSA in secondary education? The Ministry of Human Resource Development made it very clear that all secondary education institutions incorporate certain changes. What are those changes? Most schools in backward states and across the country have limited amount of classrooms. The Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan scheme is focused on increasing the amount of classrooms for students. And also, RMSA makes sure that every secondary education institute has a laboratory to impart science education through experiments and thus increase the interest in students in science subjects. RMSA has given students the opportunity to access subjects of their interest. No one could thrust on them. They could freely choose what subjects they want. RMSA has brought out the creativity of children with the special arts and crafts rooms. It has installed toilet blocks for students. Because of that, girl students could have an access to higher education, in fact. It provides drinking water facilities for children such as purifiers, dispensers and so on. For teachers in remote areas, the Ministry of Human Resource Development has set up hostels for them, residence for them. What is how the funding of the RMSA was done? Funding of the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan is done by the Ministry of Human Resource Development and is directly transferred to each state in the country. The Ministry of Human Resource Development covers 75% of the cost towards improving secondary education in each state, and 25% of the cost has to be borne by the states. For certain northeastern states and Sikkim, the funding from them has been reduced to 10% only. Overall, the Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan has made great improvements in the secondary education of our nation. It has improved the quality of education in the country. It has reduced the gender gap as more girls have joined in secondary education courses. Through Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, 10,000 schools and 16,000 plus classrooms have been built. 8,000 plus laboratories in these schools have been set up. With regard to computer rooms, 6,900 plus computer rooms have been built to promote information technology knowledge. 10,000 plus libraries have been set up in these schools, and 12,000 plus art and craft rooms have been built with another 9,000 rooms in progress. 7,000 drinking water facilities have been set up in secondary schools across the country. Because of all these achievements, we can very well say that RMSA, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, has increased the overall quality of secondary education in the country. So the objective of this scheme is to enhance access and improve quality of education at the secondary stage while ensuring equity. I am sure it was realized to a greater extent. Thank you very much, dear friends. God bless you. Let us meet in other video lectures.